In a world where students write boring stories that put the teacher to sleep, one teacher dared to take matters into her own hands. Her students said,
"This class is as boring as plain toast."
to which the teacher said,
Precisely. Effective writers use figurative languages like the simile you just used.
she told her students.
Similes compare two unlike things using like or as. For example, my students are as brilliant as the noonday sun.
She continued.
As you can see in the example, the students are being compared to the brilliance of the noonday sun. This is so much more interesting than simply saying, my students are smart. Okay, but this class is a serious yarn,
Replied her students.
Exactly. Metaphors also assist writers by creating stronger comparisons in their stories. Like a simile, a metaphor is a comparison. But unlike a simile, a metaphor is a direct comparison that does not use like or as. You used a metaphor when you compared my class to a yawner. I'd prefer to think that my class is a lively and engaging disco for the mind, though. Now, on to oxymoron. Hey, that's not very nice,
Exclaimed the students.
I can see that you are clearly confused. Oxymoron is a figure of speech in which contradictory or opposing terms are used together to describe something, such as clearly confused, or jumbo shrimp, or living dead. Oxymoron would make our writing a million times more exciting.
Said the students.
And that brings me to my next figurative language, hyperbole. A hyperbole is an extreme exaggeration. It literally means excess. Students are great at hyperbole, especially when they're complaining. Have you ever said, I have a ton of homework? Or, if I can't buy that new game, I'll die? If so, you've used hyperbole to make a point. These tips are really helping to make writing click for me. Ding, ding, ding. The word click is an example of onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is the use of words that imitate the sounds associated with the objects or actions they refer to. If you read comic books, you've likely seen onomatopoeia in use. Bam, pow, and thwack are examples of onomatopoeia. Like last lunch when Mike munched on M&Ms? And you also used our next figurative language, alliteration, when you repeated the L and M sounds. Alliteration is the repetition of the same sounds and or letters. The big blue ball bounced down the boulevard is another example of alliteration. This class has really spoken to us,
The students pronounced.
Great!
The teacher excitedly exclaimed.
You just used our last figurative language, personification. Personification is giving human traits to non-human objects. For example, you could say, the tree danced in the wind, or the wind softly whispered. The trees and the wind are non-human objects, yet they are given human characteristics like dancing and whispering. Wow, we sure learned a lot today. You're the best teacher ever, and that's not a hyperbole.